Trucky Rockers. It's been a minute since I've done a Trucker Rant video. It's been a little while. I haven't had much to rant about lately, so I guess that's good. However, something that has absolutely took over and has been a storm moving in the world of Pokemon in general and other things, and that is, of course, if you've heard about it, which you of course should have, is Palworld. Holy crap! Oh, is Palworld on the Nintendo radar with any and all aspects? And so I got to rant about it because this is precisely the thing that is needed and should have happened a long time ago. Someone grabbing Nintendo by the balls, grabbing Pokemon by the balls and saying, hey, look what we can do. And we have a smaller team and a smaller budget, and we have passion, and we have art and creativity, and we are ready to rock your fucking world. That's what Palworld said. Palworld said that to Pokemon, and Pokemon has to respond. And it shouldn't be with lawsuits and all this copyright infringement, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. No, they need this as the learning opportunity. They need to learn from this company. And it is absolutely necessary for Pokemon in order to become better. That is the thing. Pokemon needed to be better. But yeah, no. So let's talk about Pokemon real quick and just do a real brief history. You know, Pokemon came to the Game Boy and it was great. It was huge and very successful because, you know, there wasn't a whole lot out there. You probably had Dragon Quest and a few other little RPGs here and there, but, you know, a true monster collecting adventure that was ease of use, okay, ease of use, very kid-friendly. You know, it's a perfect game to introduce people to your conglomerate, to get them all hooked in and stuff. So yeah, the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, Game Boy SP Advanced, Game Boy 3DS, no, Game Boy 3DS, Nintendo 3DS, and so on, GameCube, all this stuff. You know, yeah, the Pokemon games were fine. They're okay. They seem to be getting better. They're introducing those graphics and stuff. The true problem with the video games, even though they have a stagnant formula and everything like that, that's fine. The formula can be stagnant. We can go with this whole crappy turn-based thing. Yeah, we can introduce double battles, but that doesn't really freaking matter. Like, no one cares. Like, ooh, so much strategy. Oh, they threw another Pokemon out there. Oh, that's a lot of strategy. No one cares about double battles. It makes things interesting. No one cares. No one cares. So the only way that you could make it like interesting would be like to have a full 6-on-6 battle. Like that right there would require some shit. And you know, we kind of got that aspect when we got the raid battles, when you had 4 people against one super mega Pokemon, but that really wasn't done well either, because, you know, we all don't have friends out there. We don't have people we hang with. We want to just play games by ourselves for the most part. So, you know, when you get 3 AI, and I use AI very loosely, you get 3 AI that don't know jack shit about having a fucking Pokemon battle, and you're essentially by yourself, and you're in a raid that you really want to capture that Pokemon at the end of it, and you just get your ass handed to you because, well, you know, you got 3 other computer players that should be doing shit, even though they were kind of given the shittiest Pokemon to use. You know, give me a fucking break. You didn't have a system. They're like, oh, this is a 5-star raid. Maybe we should give them, like, oh, I don't know, some dragon type, you know, good stuff, maybe a pseudo legendary here and there to help out a little bit. Maybe we should have done that. No. We're gonna give you a Solrock and a Togepi or something like that. Come on. The worst freaking Pokemon, and then they don't even attack. So no, even the raid battles, which could have been a technical masterpiece, crap. They're crap across the board. But that segues perfectly into the downfall of the Pokemon gaming industry, to where there is no excuses, absolutely no excuses. You are the biggest franchise on this planet, with the most money at your disposal, with the ability to get a crack team to be able to absolutely have a monster of a game But no, you didn't choose that route because no one's ever stood up to you. You're the big ass bully in the cafeteria room pushing everybody around saying, give me your lunch money. And everyone fucking does it because no one has a choice. So now things have changed, but we're not there just yet. We're not there just yet. So, Nintendo Switch rolls around. You know how long the Nintendo Switch has been out? 7 years. It'll be 7 years this March of 2024. 7 years, almost a whole ass decade with the Switch. Guess what the first game on the Switch was? Or at least one of the first. Breath of the Wild! Yeah! That kick-ass game with beautiful graphics, and beautiful gameplay, and beautiful story, and beautiful this, and beautiful that. It was wonderful. Everybody loved Breath of the Wild. It was the greatest goddamn game to come out in a long-ass time. It was the most anticipated shit. It was wonderful. It's what people got the Switch for. So you're telling me that with Breath of the Wild and all the time that you had to develop a damn video game to emulate the Breath of the Wild that we all wanted this stuff as Pokemon enthusiasts and fans and consumers, whatever have you, that was your benchmark. That was your benchmark, Game Freak, Pokemon Company, all of the above. Nintendo even. Nintendo has their little Pika Pit Pats in this too, okay? Alright, so what do you come up with first? Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. That was fine, okay? That was fine. We all deserved a good Gen 1 remake, whatever. It was very simplified. It's a cute game, was fine. For $60 though at the time, that's a toss-up, right? It is what it is. You know, we're so used to fucking paying, you know, exuberant amounts of money for a game. It is what it is, right? So, you got that. Alright, I'll give you a pass. It's cool. Then you also integrated, you know, Pokemon Go with Pokemon Let's Go. That's kind of the premise of it. And that was fine. Whatever, fine. The little Mew Ball thing, fine. I liked it. I liked it. In fact, I even come back to it. I put like 300 hours, plus 400 hours, I think, in Pokemon Let's Go because I was doing shiny hunting and all this other stuff because it's been the easiest way to get shinies in a very long time. So yeah, Pokemon Let's Go series was perfectly fine. Then what did you come out with? Sword and Shield! It's gonna rock your socks off! Okay, alright, let's talk about Sword and Shield real quick, just a little bit, just enough to give you that idea of the downfall of Pokemon. So this was their first open world attempt at Pokemon, at which it wasn't really open world, it was still a linear play style. You only could go exactly where the game wanted you to go. The only open world that you had was the Wild Zone. The Wild Zone, yeah! That's all you got, that's all you had. And even then, you were locked behind trying to get some of these Pokemon because, oh, you're not a high enough trainer level or whatever the fuck it was that you had to be, you had to have the badges in order to catch this level 50 Onix or level 30 Steelix or whatever the hell it was. I'm sorry, if I got fucking Pokeballs in a Pokemon, I'm gonna try and catch this thing, okay? I should not ever have to be behind a play wall. A play wall? I heard of paywalls, but not a play wall. Yeah, so you introduced a play wall to your game. That's your first mistake. Next mistake is you had an empty, barren wasteland of nothing. Polyagonal, just low-resolution bullcrap. And it wasn't an interesting world. And then you had all of these biomes and all those weather conditions, and only you could catch Pokemon at certain times and certain days, and you had people messing with their Switches to do this shit because it shouldn't have existed. It shouldn't have existed. This whole weather thing should have never had a bearing on your gameplay. I shouldn't have to wait. Let's say the people who didn't take the time to actually, you know, set the different times on their Switch and fuck their shit up, you know, and, you know, to speed things up because, you know, I don't want to wait a week to catch a Dragapult here or get this there or have this raid do this and garbage. Absolute garbage execution of your Wild Zone. The fact that you had to manipulate the function of your hardware so the software you would have a better time playing it was also a red flag. So bad resolution, no open world, linear story. Then you tossed it in, although Let's Go had the same issue here, animation. What? did you not think to, you know, add some animations? You just didn't have the time. We didn't have the time to put some animations in, especially the fucking move double kick. Oh my god. Oh, you had time to have like the, Cinder Race and all of them use their special moves and stuff, and it looks just so fucking cool and sweet. But no, you didn't have the chance to do that, did you, with double kick? I couldn't program the Pokemon's legs to go. Couldn't do that. You just made them hop. What the hell? What the hell? Low res, crappy stuff, just absolute crap. And then, like I said, the story was whatever. It was okay, lackluster at best. It's dealable. And a lot of people are like, you gotta keep reminded, this is a children's game. It's for the children. It's for the children. It's for the children, my ass. Yeah, kids play it, sure, but adults play it too. Unfortunately, Pokemon is a ageless game. It is for everyone. For everyone, baby. But it seems to be and for nobody. Nobody cares anymore. And it's crazy to me because Pokemon, again, is the world's largest franchise. Money, both monetarily and everything else. They have their little Pika Pit pads and everything. No one can touch them when it comes to the plushie and the figure department. No one can touch them when it comes to the trading card games. There's no trading card game out there that comes close. Even Magic the Gathering could only wish to have the following that the Pokemon TCG has. Could only fucking wish to be as close to Pokemon. There ain't nothing out there. I don't care what new TCG comes out. There's nothing out there that's going to touch Pokemon ever. So you have the market on figures and plushes and TCG, and you got movies and TV shows, which, whatever on some of that, I've kind of outgrown that a little bit, but here's the thing. Your video games, though, how do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up? And worst of all, why do you allow it to happen? Well, like I alluded to earlier, it's because they've never had competition. Zero. Zilcho. None. They never had competition on this shit. But let's keep going. So, Sword and Shield. Okay, well, it's ambitious, okay? You can't say a fucking game or a franchise went ambitious with anything when you got stuff from, the early 2000s that could kick their ass in graphics, okay? You don't have ambition. No, this was a cash grab. Especially DLC. Oh, fuck DLC. Fuck you and your fucking DLC. You wanna know why? Because guess what? The DLC, wanna know what? Do it later. That's what it fucking means. Do it later. DLC, do it later. Because we didn't have time or the ability or any of that shit to put the content in the main game, which is what it should be. I see DLC as some of the laziest shit, unless you are an MMORPG or a game that's been out for years, that you shouldn't be even thinking about putting fucking DLC in your game. Because that's the whole point of your game. You fully release the game. You fully release the game, which means you completely intended this to be exactly this way. So why are you giving us DLC within a year? Within a year, well, we had this whole thing. No, that means you've been developing the DLC while you develop the whole main-ass game. Fail. There's no ambition. There's no time frame on this. You could have taken 3-4 years to make a smash-ass Pokemon game, but no, you chose the easy way out because you just gotta crank stuff out. You don't care how it comes out. No one's gonna compete with you. No one's gonna show you up. No one's gonna even touch it. And everyone's gonna buy it because it's Pokemon. Everyone's gonna fucking buy it. Everyone's gonna fucking buy this game because it's Pokemon. And it's just a sham. And then we got Legends Arceus. Ooh, that was ambitious. Same fucking concept. These are all early access games. Sword and Shield was early access, and they got some DLC, which should have been fucking free. And because why? Why would you cash grab? Well, you need to make money. Did you not hear what I said before? Which was the Pokemon franchise is the biggest and most valuable franchise in the world, possibly universe. Can't confirm or deny that one, but excuse me, they don't need more money. They don't need it. So the fact that they charge their customers for shitty DLC that should have been just free. Should have been, hey, Pokemon fans and people like, we really appreciate you. Here's a whole island, Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra DLC coming to you. Make sure you go to the store and hit the free download. That's what should have fucking happened. That's what should have happened. Nah. It's going to be $80 or a whole ass another game for downloadable content because, well, garbage, fucking garbage, and more garbage. Oh man, like it just pisses you off the more you start to think about it. And of course, I'm already ruffling the feathers because there's people out there that are Pokemon diehards on these games that say, Pokemon can do no wrong. They got like a cult following, like wahoo, waki, wah, ho, Pokemon. Like, that's, no, sorry. I'm gonna rain on your little cultist parade. No, Pokemon cannot be cherished or valuable or anything like that when they do shit like that. And then, as I was talking about the Legends Arceus, it was a great concept. It actually had like a heartbeat. It had a breath of fresh air. You had some sensibility. There was actually some allure of danger. It was the most adult Pokemon game that they've ever released and probably ever will release. And it's a fucking shame. It's a fucking shame that they just let it die. They could have integrated it with Sword and Shield. They could have integrated it with Scarlet and Violet. But now, what games did they integrate it with? Oh, the most forgettable things that they ever made, which is the remake of Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, you probably forgot about those. Shining Pearl, Brilliant Diamond, or maybe it's this other way around. Who the fuck cares? No one cares about those games. They're absolute trash. They took everything good about those games and said, haha, fuck it, I don't care. And then they had cryptic messaging inside that to translate to Legends Arceus, and it was through a book. What the hell were you all thinking? Like, that was the way you went with that? And you didn't think that Legends Arceus, maybe you could have had, like, time portals coming out, and, like, you go to, like, the Galar, and all this other stuff, where you could bounce between the games or something like that, or you could trade Alpha Pokemon into Sword and Shield, or later Scarlet and Violet. No, you didn't think of that shit because you're complacent and you're a bunch of assholes and you have no fucking clue what you're doing. And you don't care because, oh, we sold millions of copies, so we must have made the best fucking game in the world. Yeah! No, you made the most terrible game in the world, and unfortunately, it's got the Pokemon label on it, so all of us fuckers just like, well, it's a Pokemon game. Same kind of concept with Star Wars. Star Wars is an absolute fucking sham, so don't get me started on that, but I'm going to go on that road real quick because it's the same concept. It's Star Wars, you gotta go see it, you gotta watch it on Disney Plus, you gotta do this and that. Fuck that shit. It's absolutely fucking ruined. You can't change my mind. And the only way that's going to get unfucked is if George Lucas buys the damn franchise back and fixes the shit. And deletes, and I do mean deletes from existence 7, 8, 9 and all the trash in between. But Pokemon's in the same fucking boat. Oh, just because it's Pokemon, you gotta buy it. It's gotta go. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit to the moon and back. No one gives a damn. Absolutely no one gives a damn. Oh man, and then Scarlet and Violet. What the hell? We didn't even buy it. We didn't buy it. This is the first time we have never purchased a Pokemon game ever. First time. If we excuse the fact that we, haven't been into Pokemon for the past 20 years, except for when we started this last year. But this is beside the point. It's beside the point. Scarlet and Violet, as soon as I seen the trailer, and I seen that the windmills in the background were going, eat, 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 and the characters look like they were from the fucking GameCube days, or the Dreamcast days. Like, Sonic Adventure 2 looked better than Scarlet and Violet. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, and you want to be an asshole and charge a full game price because, we fully released Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, so it deserves a full ass price, Yeah, that's cool. And then, of course, no later than, I think it's actually been a year out or something like that, paid no attention to it because it's absolute glitchy, buggy ass garbage. Open world, my ass. Open world, my ass. But let me just go up here the price. So you're already paying $60+ for this new Pokemon game, which I did that in quotation because I don't see it as a Pokemon game. I see it as a tragedy. Early access, if you will. An early access, full release bullshit that has a Pokemon label on it. And then we come out with a DLC, which is even more garbage. And then, have you seen the price for this thing? You can buy Scarlet and Violet with the DLC for $98. The fuck you think you're trying to do here, Pokemon? Jesus. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And they just expect it to happen. They just, it's gonna happen. People are gonna love it. They're gonna buy it. They're gonna cherish it forever. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so good. Garbage. Hot fucking garbage. And they should be ashamed of themselves. Absolutely. This Scarlet and Violet release should have been the awakening. Should have been the whole, like, shit, man, we may have fucked this up. we might have actually dropped the ball on this one. That's what should have happened with the Scarlet and Violet release after they decided to release such a tragedy. So what do we fast forward to now? Palworld. Oh man, did it stick it to Game Freak, Nintendo, Pokemon, and the between. Smaller dev department, not as much money, and absolutely is fucking killing it. Absolutely killing it. The most copies for a game sold in a long ass time. The Pokemon game that we have all deserved. And guess what? It's early access. And it's only $26! Not even half the price. Not even half the price of a full-fledged Pokemon game. And this fucking company is killing it. I'm sorry, I had to put my hazards on. Rear wheel track, shit like that. Windows down, make sure I don't get hit by a choo-choo. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Come on. Oh, it's so hilarious. I love every bit of it. Every bit of it. But I gotta load up some fuel, so stay tight. I'll be back in just a moment.
A few moments later.
Alright, we're back. We're in the truck. We're loaded, started, and ready to go. Yeah. Alright, so Palworld. Oh man, do I love Palworld. I haven't even played it yet. I love it. And of course there's so many reasons why. But I've been watching Palworld very closely before it all hit this, craziness and stuff that we've all got accustomed to very shortly. With the PAL decks that they had going on YouTube. So yeah, I've been paying pretty close attention. I've even talked to some people like, look at this game, it's going to be awesome. The fact that we got Pokemon with guns. Okay, Pokemon with guns. Alright, we got to nail that in the butt. It's not Pokemon with guns. We all like to draw our own commonality. We try to find the relativity of things. We try to compare things because that's just how we justify, is it truly a creative thing? Is this actually any different than anything else? And yes, this is. This is different than anything else I can actually put on the table. Because it's not just a comparison of Pokemon. People have also been comparing it to Ark and Rust, of which those two in themselves are pretty much the same dang thing, except for one's got dinosaurs and one's got very angry little people that are naked on a beach somewhere. And, people have also been comparing it to, there's some other stuff. But nonetheless, basically the main two things that people have been comparing Palworld to is Pokemon and Ark. The fact that you can compare it to multiple games already tells you enough that it is a different game entirely. It is something of its own, and its own creativity and uniqueness. But, again, all those Pokemon diehard fans out there, if any of them ever watch this video, they're like, oh yeah, it's a direct ripoff. It's a ripoff. No, it's not. No, it's not. You can take any of those pals and be like, well, that's clearly a Moltres. No, it's not. Does it have the same beak? Well, no. Does it have the same eyes? Well, they're similar, but no. That's precisely the point. This is why you cannot sue or take to court Palworld or anything like that. Why Pokemon hasn't done a cease and desist on these people, because there's no way you can. There's only so much creativity out in this world, all right? People can only come up with so much shit in their brain before things start to look the same. Have we looked at car brands? Okay, a Toyota Camry and a Nissan Altima and a Honda Accord pretty much are the same damn car. Only with just a little bit of minute differences, so therefore, well, you know, it's a completely different model, and oh, it's so much better than this other car. It's the same fucking thing, okay? It's the same fucking thing, but there's just these tiny differences to why they could say, well, no, it's its own thing, and so therefore it's not copyright, and we're not copying somebody. And, you know, there's that. But I would say the auto manufacturers industry are so much more closer than Palworld and Pokemon are. It's just, you know, it's a creative style. So what if they created things that have a similar styling to it? Again, you can only do stuff so much and create a style so many times. I mean, that's like taking any anime series that's out there, like Dragon Ball Z or One Piece and all this, and be like, oh, well, they have the same kind of eyes. It's the genre. Like, now you can say, oh, well, that's an anime style. Well, that's just the genre. The genre of anime has these kind of eyes. And you can only make them in only so many fucking ways. So that's the whole point. If I can look at this giant, okay, let's take the main one that we all like can like really relate to or know about in Palworld, which is this giant Electabuzz looking motherfucker that's basically a cross between Electabuzz and Totoro, and some people like it's just giant Pikachu with a minigun. But that's the thing. We try to draw these relativities, but there's nothing there. It's a completely unique thing. You know, it's not Totoro, because guess what? It's yellow and has a lightning bolt and a minigun. It's not Electabuzz, because it doesn't have the antenna thing, it ain't got the fangs and the teeth, and it actually is the furthest thing from Electabuzz it could ever fucking be. So it's not Electabuzz, and guess what? It carries a goddamn minigun, so okay. Nothing in Pokemon, and nothing in anything else. In fact, we could just say, well, maybe it's Digimon then. It's kind of like Gallantmon, or whatever the fuck the little rabbit thing with the machine gun arms are. It's close to that. And we haven't been comparing Digimon, have we? No, Digimon hasn't come up in the subject matter. But here's the thing, they're not Digimon either. They don't talk, they don't have any of those capabilities, and they're much more simplified than Digimon is. Digimon is a little overly complex as far as the monsters and creatures and things, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! But again, you can only create creatures and monsters and things ever so differently until you start to have these similarities on all this shit. So you can toss out well, it's a Pokemon clone right the fuck out the window, because it's not. It is not a Pokemon clone whatsoever. It's its own thing, it has its own creativity, its own imagination, and its own world. It's Palworld. But not only is it just its own thing, but like I said, it's something that we've needed. We've needed for so long, and I alluded to it right at the start of this video, which is it grabbed Pokemon by the balls. It grabbed the Nintendo Game Freak Pokemon company right there and said, look what I can do. Look what I can do. And I don't have the billions of dollars at my disposal like you fucks do. Like, I can make a better game, and you have no idea. You have no idea. And like I said, this isn't a lawsuit thing. This isn't a take to court thing. This is simply a humility. This is Pokemon's chance at humility. To be able to sit back and, yeah, we fucked up. We fucked up. We should have done something better. We should have took our time. We should have put our resources and money and efforts into other things. We should have had a crack team at our disposal, because we completely fucking pay them and pay the best of the best in the industry to do this stuff. But no, they didn't go that route. And you know what you get for your complacency? You get Palworld. You get Palworld because of your complacency. Let's just take in the opposite spectrum. What if Pokemon was on fire? Maybe Legends Arceus was just this absolute, just brain buster of a video game and everything like that. And Scarlet Violet was just absolutely the Breath of the Wild Pokemon edition we all deserved and wanted and loved. And then Palworld tries to come out, guess what? You would have had that opposite reaction. People would have been like, what the fuck you think you're doing, Palworld? You just need to go away. Don't even try. Pokemon's just so much better and cooler, and like you're just trying to ride on the coattails. Like, oh, they should take you to court. Blah, 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 blah. Although there's some people, of course, that think like that, but that would be your vast majority. Guess what? It's not that way, is it? The vast majority of people are actually on the side of Palworld. Why weren't you able to create this thing? This developer has, like, as far as comparing apples to apples here, fucking nothing. Nothing compared to you. And yet you fail, and you're making us buy, which you can say, oh, no one makes me do anything. Who out there bought Scarlet and Violet? I see you. Who out there bought Scarlet and Violet and regretted their decision, okay? Because you felt like you had to buy it. It's the same concept. So, yes, made you buy this game and say, suck on it. Go ahead, suck the pokey pee-pee. Because that's all you had to do. And the whole thing in a nutshell is you just look at the numbers. 4 million, 6 million copies. I wouldn't be surprised. 10 million copies, which rivals Pokemon to a T in sales on this thing, and it's gonna hit the roof and keep going. It's gonna break through that roof and hit the stars because people were hungry, including myself and my wife. We've been hungry for an actual fucking Pokemon game that's worth a damn, and we haven't seen it. Haven't seen it whatsoever. Doesn't exist. Still doesn't exist. I mean, we have to, like, we play on our Nintendo 3DSs. We play Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Omega Ruby, Omega Sapphire from time to time. But that's the problem, isn't it? Those games are over a decade old, and yet I'd rather play those than anything on the Nintendo Switch. Aside from maybe Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but here's the thing, the only reason why I even play that game right now is just the shiny hunt, which I can't even take my fucking Pokemon anywhere anyway, so what's the point of playing it? Like, it's just a little nostalgia factor. But if I really want a nostalgia factor, I guess I'd just go buy a Game Boy Color and Pokemon Yellow, and I'll get my damn nostalgia factor. Shut up, truck. I'll get my nostalgia factor if I really, really want it. Because, I'm going to be paying about the same price anyways for how, the price of new games go these days. Dear Lord. Like, what? You're out of your damn minds. Out of your damn minds. But yes, Palworld was necessary. Palworld is 100% a necessary thing for us to be able to grow in the Pokemon field. And the category that Pokemon has failed for some time now. And that is, of course, the video games. I sincerely hope, and I cross my fingers, and I believe that this is the shining light that we've all needed to get Pokemon to kick themselves in the ass and say, we need to do better. We need to do better, and we need to apologize to our customer base, and we need to give them exactly what they wanted, which is Breath of the Wild Pokemon Edition. That's really all the hell we want. We want to be able to go anywhere and experience wonderful scenery and feel immersed and have new Pokemon and old Pokemon alike, the whole fucking national dex unlocked, no paywalls, no DLCs, except for something that maybe comes out in a long ass while, because it really should be kind of like the Bethesda treatment, even though Bethesda's all these big ass companies need to pull their heads out of their asses. Dear God, like we live in a consumer world. We live in a consumption-based environment, and we're eating like the bottom of the barrel McDonald's fries right now when it comes to fucking video games and entertainment. Because it's just all these complacency factors, and no one's coming up and swinging the bat at the ball and hitting it out of the park, except for Palworld. Palworld is the only thing thus far that has decided to come up to bat with the big boys and smacked one out of the park, and now people are paying attention. Now we're paying attention, because you're all complacent, you think you're all safe in your big old corporate offices, and then now you're threatened. Now you have a threat. And so what do you do with it? That's up to you, Pokemon Company, and that's up to all these other industries. But that's what I was trying to get at, which is like the Bethesda treatment. Pokemon should only come out with a game every 3 or 4 years or something like that. It shouldn't be every fucking, 6 months. Okay, it's ridiculous. You cannot make quality games in 6 months. Maybe back when the PlayStation 1 was around, you could come out with a game every 6 months, but not now, not today. It takes a couple of years or longer to make a good game. Especially if you got a really good development team and you got the money, which you got all that. At least, I don't know about the development part of it, but you got the rest of it. Like, come on. Come on. Pull your heads out of your asses. Now we just need someone to threaten Bethesda, which I guess you could say like Baldur's Gate 3 was kind of that, not really a threat to Bethesda, but just like, you know, it takes away from Starfield and all those other things because, well, it was a damn good game. And so, as far as that goes, you know, I haven't played Palworld personally just yet. My wife is actually home today and she's playing it. I downloaded it, I bought it, it's gamepad compatible. So I told her, I said, I got a, 10 to 12 hour shift on the road today. I need you, when I come home, to tell me exactly how you feel about this game. And it takes a lot to impress the wife. It really does. It takes quite a bit to impress the wife. And so if this game hits it home with the wife, I know it's a good ass game. But here's the thing, I don't care how it plays. I don't care about any of that stuff. You can be like, well, how can you not? Because, again, the fact is in the statistics and the numbers. I don't even have to look at this game and go through the trailers and give my own personal take on the opinion and whatever, which I will eventually. But here's the skinny on it. It's just the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. People were hungry for a Pokemon game, a monster collecting adventure, and have crafting and survival. Palworld has shown the numbers, has proven that there has been a need for this for quite some time, and we can only hope that the Pokemon Company sees this as an opportunity, not to be negative. They need to not do that, because to me, that means that that Pokemon Company is weak. If the Pokemon Company takes Palworld to court, then that shows weakness. That shows so much weakness, because you can't, instead of, again, having humility and saying, yeah, we fucked up, and creating a better game, because you should have been doing this in the first place. I mean, this is a tarnishment that is never going away. This is a scar on the Pokemon Company that will always be there, that people will be able to reference for forever from now on. So you can't fix that. What you can fix is what you start putting out there. And so long as we see that Pokemon Company accepts the defeat that they got and comes out with a kick-ass game that we've all been fucking waiting for, it will be what it will be. Palworld isn't going anywhere. It's a shame. It's a hilarious moment. And I can't get enough of it. I wish the best for Palworld. I wish the absolute best. I can't wait to play it myself. I really can. And if I really enjoy it, I'm probably going to do a playthrough. And since it's on the computer, it's going to be a lot easier than Pokemon games to get screen captures and stuff. And actually do some plays. Maybe put that on the channel and stuff like that. Don't know yet. But we have to talk about it. We gotta talk about it. It's the rage right now. It's on fire. And like I said, I love this. I cannot wait to see where this goes. I hope and pray for positivity on both sides, where Palworld gets to exist alongside Pokemon, and people can choose whatever the hell they want to do, because that's true freedom. That is freedom and acceptance. And we're all supposed to be this whole coexisting thing, right? I see the fucking bumper sticker right in front of me. It says coexist. Alright, well, that'll be proof in the pudding that that's true. That's a true statement, and that bumper sticker is correct. I'll tie it off there. I've ranted long enough on this subject. Palworld, good on you, man. Keep on rocking. Pokemon, we're watching. We're watching what you're going to do. You all have yourselves a rockin' day. Yeah.